Good morning. So, today I wanted to talk to you about results. And what do I mean by results? Well, let's start at the very beginning. So, I want to talk to you about, first of all, in terms of how my clients are often feeling when I first start talking to them. So, they often feel overwhelmed, stressed, frustrated, exasperated. They often feel like they are struggling to make decisions, and often they're making the wrong ones. Doesn't mean that they're always willing to admit the fact they're making the wrong decisions, but often they realize in hindsight that they are making decisions. They could be making rash decisions, or they could be making decisions based on desperation because things aren't working. And obviously, that's not a good place to be. They can often be in a situation where they're listening to the wrong people. And, I completely understand that often friends and family are incredibly well intentioned, but unless they've run a business, they can't really fully understand what you're actually going through, and they can't really fully stand in your shoes. So it's important then, therefore, to get the right type of guidance. And it's, when you're feeling like that, you can often be in a situation where you're like, is this really worth it? Should I continue with this business, or is it now time to just walk away? And I've had that recently with a couple of clients who have been on that verge of, they've just felt so frustrated, so exasperated, so like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And I've then had conversations with them, and by just simply listening, understanding, being empathetic in terms of the situation, because at the end of the day, I have been where a lot of my clients have been. There are still times where I have challenging days. I've had, particularly in recently for me, I've had a lot of things going on in my personal life, which has had a massive knock-on effect in the business. And unfortunately, that's the way that life sometimes goes. But because I actually genuinely understand and have been through the challenges that I help my clients with, it means that I genuinely can come from a place of understanding and compassion. So let's talk about what happens when they actually work with me in a bit more detail. So one of the key things in business is it's about mindset, right? I'm a firm believer that success is 80% mindset, 20% hard work, right? So if you have the mindset right and you believe that what you are doing is right, you believe in your purpose, you believe in your why, and that's what's driving you, you will have a greater chance of success. But what often happens when you are literally being feels like you're being under attack, you're under fire constantly, and you're always putting out the fires, sometimes we can lose sight of that purpose. We can lose sight of that why, and that can then make it incredibly challenging to be able to push through. And I think one of the key things with working with me is I will sit down with you at the very outset, and I will establish what your actual key challenges are in the business right now. Because often what happens is that there are things that you think are the challenge or you think are the problem, but actually when you delve deeper, they might just be surface level, and there's actually a deeper issue that needs to be resolved. And we work out what those challenges are, and we then put a game plan as to how we're actually going to resolve it. And I then take you step by step with bite-sized steps that you can then implement into your business. You've got that plan. And one of the things that I often see with business owners, and I've been guilty of it of myself, is you can often get caught up with what's called shiny object syndrome, and that is where you see this thing, oh, we can do this, we can do that, and we get all excited. But sometimes what you've actually got to do is take it back to the basics. And I've been having conversations recently with clients where we have actually stripped it back. I'm even stripping it back in my own business right now to go back to the basics. So who is the target audience? What is your message? What is your core offer that you are wanting to sell, right? These are key basics that sometimes you have to strip it right back. And you then maybe look at things like, okay, what's your pricing? With the way that the cost of living is at the moment and the cost of running a business, prices are going up. In terms of, obviously, you've got potentially got salaries to pay, rent to pay, and all of these things are going up. But you haven't necessarily even looked at where your pricing is. And all of these things we can actually start to look at what actually needs the work. Any of these shiny objects you've seen, do you need them right now? And we can assess that, but it's an absolute, honest, direct approach, right? So, where I'm again different to a lot of other business coaches, business performance coaches. Not only have I been there, done that, and got the t-shirt, and I've been through the pain. Believe it or not, there's a lot of business coaches, other than their coaching business, have never run a business. But I also do what I think is a really important part, is I do a hybrid of coaching and consultancy. And what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of coaches, what they'll try and do is they'll do a deep dive in terms of with you as to what the challenges are and try and extract from you what you think the solutions are. And they'll use like breadcrumbs of questions and information. Whereas I actually think sometimes what businesses need is somebody who will give them a yes or no answer, or they'll actually give specific advice on the challenge in which they are facing. Now, ultimately, it's always the business owner's decision as to whether they action that particular advice that's given. But the key part is that I don't just turn around and say, well, what do you think? And I found that as a very frustrating aspect when I had business coaches with the law firm. I think the other part of it, which again, I had this when I would be learning from business coaches, and they'd teach me what I needed to do. They'd teach me why I needed to do it. But where I really was baffled by is how do I do these things? How do I physically actually implement them into my business? And I'd come away from various coaching events with streams and streams of notes. And I'm like, well, what do I do with them now? And that's again something where I'm very different. The whole purpose of what I do is I will literally not only teach you what you need to do, why you need to do it, but I will teach you the how. I will help you actually physically implement the how into your business. I give you step-by-step guidance. I give you swipe files. I give you templates. I give you everything you can possibly need to make sure that your business is running as efficiently and as profitably as possible, that it's systemized, that you have got a plan of what you want to do with your business. You've got goals written down. You've got how you're going to actually achieve it. You've got a marketing plan, and again, you've got that step-by-step as to how you're actually going to implement all of these things, right? So I hope that gives you some kind of context. But, ultimately, the key thing with me is I will help you not only get shit done, but I will also help in terms of ensuring that I keep you accountable, that stuff is getting done. But I also will make sure that you've got somebody who is a listening ear, who will support you, who will guide you, who will give you the tools and strategies you need to make your business as successful as possible. So what is that end result at the end? Well, to be honest, it's something that is a continuous thing, but ultimately you will have an efficient business. You'll have a profitable business. You will feel like you are back in control. You will feel calm. You will even feel excited by the future. And you'll be then going home at night sharing how an amazing day you've had, and that you will actually be raring to get up in the morning and get to your business to be able to make a difference in people's lives, because you will be able to go back to that key purpose of what got you started in the first place. You'll be, literally have that fire in your belly again. So if you are at this moment in time feeling stressed, exasperated, frustrated with your business, and you don't even know whether you want to continue with it, and you're getting, grief left, right, and centre in terms of from your friends and family, and you just don't know which direction to turn, then if you are a service-based business, so whether you're a law firm, an accountancy firm, HR, data compliance, recruitment agency, to name a few, if you fall into any of those types of categories of businesses, then what you need to do is you need to book in a strategy session. So if you want to feel excited again, if you want to feel back in control again, if you want to feel calm and raring to go in terms of your business, and you are fed up with feeling exasperated and frustrated and stressed, then what you need to do, like I say, is book in your free strategy session. We do a deep dive into your business and we look at the challenges you have. Now, if this is something you want to do, then what you need to do is either put yes in the comments or click the link in the bio and get yourself booked in for your free strategy session. I hope you've got some value from today, because ultimately I want to help as many service-based businesses as I can, because I genuinely know how frustrating and how hard it can be, and I want to be able to support you and get you from that feeling of frustration and stress to transforming your business and transforming how you feel, so you're excited and raring to go and back in control, and you've got that efficient, profitable business that ultimately can give you the life that you want. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you all very soon. Take care now.